Hi and welcome to another video. Today I want to show you how you can create your own color picker application in Python. You can just choose between how much red, blue or green you want to have. You can copy your RGB code to your clipboard and just insert it if you want. And you can see your color up here. Why would you create this? Well, it's not that you need it a lot, I guess, because you can just go to the internet and type in color picker and you get like 1,000 applications for color pickers. But I think it's a cool project just to to challenge yourself a little bit and get to know some concepts of tkinter, which I'm using. You can also use another GUI library from Python. Okay, so I have my code here. I'm gonna show you now step by step what I did. I thought of coding it while talking about it, but I think it's a little bit much code and I have to do a lot of things just repeatedly, so I'm just talking about it like that. Okay, the first two lines are pretty simple. It's just imports that I need from tkinter. Instead of this, I could also do like a star, which is the wildcard, but I'm not using the wildcard because I myself learned that if you have bigger projects, then you can run into troubles with wildcards, because if you have tkinter, for example, and another GUI library or just another library, and you have some things that are just overlapping, so for example another library, maybe Pygame, something like this, has also a label, then with the wildcard, Python can get confused and your project might not work. So that's why I just like to use writing out what I need. Then I also see what I'm using. That's basically the reason, if this makes any sense, I guess. Okay, so these are two functions I'm gonna get to later. Just let me close them for now. This is the first part. So in this part I'm just gonna create the window, name it, give it a title of color picker and setting the size of the window. Then in here I have this label at the top, the color label, where your color is showcased that you picked yourself. That's basically this one. I gave it a standard background of black, a width of 50, height of 10. Yeah. Then this frame here is the frame where the sliders are inside of. So I'm just creating a frame and put all my sliders inside of this frame. These three blocks here are the sliders with a label for each color. So first I'm just gonna go through red, because for green and blue it's the same. For the red color I have a label with the text red and the color red that is just inserted into row 0 and column 1 inside of this frame here. And right next to it I'm gonna insert a scale, which scales from 0 to 255, which are just the binary or which are just the numbers in the scale between 0 and 255, which are used to create RGB codes. Yeah. I can also say it should be horizontal. There is also for vertical, but I want it to be horizontal. And the same I'm doing for the green and the blue label. Okay, then I have a second frame, which is for the part where you can copy your RGB code from. So that is the second frame I'm gonna put underneath of this frame, or not I'm gonna put it underneath of this, but the pack, which is just a auto completion thing from tkinter, which just puts everything underneath of each other. And inside of this second frame I'm gonna put this label where the RGB, which just says RGB code, where I can see my RGB code that is later displayed. But for the display I'm using this entry here, it's empty at first, but it's gonna be filled later on. And yeah, this entry is used to show the RGB code that you can copy later. And then I have this copy button, which is just created to copy our RGB code. Okay. Now I'm gonna go through our functions. So the first one is the slider. You can see here for our scale has this comment slider. Each of these scales have the comment slider, and this what the slider does is basically it gets the values of our scales. Then it's gonna create a RGB code like a string. So we have for red basically, for example 10, for green 20, and for blue 40 or something like this. Then it says here 10, 20, 40. Then we're gonna create a code out of it. It's just a hexadecimal code we're creating here. Then we have our color label, which is down here. So like this color at the top. And we're gonna configure this color label and setting the background to the code we created up here. And after that, we just say, okay, we want to delete what is at the moment inside of this entry here, where we're gonna display the RGB code that we are creating, just so that there are no overlappings. And we right away insert the new code. So we delete the old code and insert the new code. That's basically what this slider function does. Okay. Then the next function and the last part of this program is the OnClick function, which you saw down here was part of our copy. And as you guessed it, this OnClick should make it possible that we can copy our RGB code to our clipboard. And that's what it does. So first we're gonna create this message box, which just says you copied your RGB code to your clipboard. We're gonna insert our RGB code from the entry, which is down here actually. Then we have this clip, which is a separate window, and inside of this clipboard, like this, functions from tkinter, we can just say clipboard append. First we clear our clipboard actually, then we append a new thing to our clipboard, which in this case is our RGB code. And after that you have your clipboard filled with the RGB code, and we can now destroy our separate window. So why we have to create a separate window? Because that's just how tkinter works. So we have to create a window that we can use it to copy our RGB code, basically. Yeah, and that's the program. So if I run this now, you can see, now hold on, like that. So now you can see up here is the label I was talking about. This is the color label. Then we have a frame which you can't see. We have our scales and labels down here. We have a second frame which we can't see either. Then we have this RGB code label. We have a entry where we can insert stuff, but it doesn't matter because it's gonna be deleted if I move here, as you can see. And we have this copy we can use to copy, for example, this code in here. Yeah, and yeah, that's the program. It's a small program, it's not that hard, but it's nice, especially for beginners, to get to know some concepts of Python and GUI programming. So yeah, if you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you have any questions, just ask in the comments. I hope I can answer, and I'm hoping I can answer them quick. And yeah, if so, enjoy the video, or enjoy more videos of mine, I guess. Enjoy this program, and see you next time. Bye.